YouTube? Film Geek here, and today I'm talking about the 1991 film, Nothing But Trouble.
Put out that dog rocket!
Oh, sir, sorry.
In 1796, my forefathers established this seat after the tenets of the old Shire Charter.
Shire charter? Excuse me, sir, that's pre-Magna Carta. I mean, serfdom and fiefdom stuff.
Very good, young lady. Hey, you know, you and I ought to spend a little more time together.
Well, I'd like that.
Would you?
Nothing But Trouble was written, directed, produced, and starring Dan Aykroyd. It's also starring John Candy, Demi Moore, and Chevy Chase. Nothing But Trouble tells the story of a businessman and his friends who get captured by a sadistic judge and his very weird family. Dan Aykroyd spent 6 months actually writing this script, and he described it as Beetlejuice meets the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And to be perfectly honest, that is an excellent way to put this movie. Originally, the movie was named Git, or as we like to say here in the Midwest, Git. Later, Aykroyd renamed the movie Road to Ruin, and then the studio changed it to Nothing But Trouble based off of a throwaway line that Demi Moore says in the film. Chevy Chase originally didn't want to make this movie, but he did want to help out his friend Dan, so he went ahead and did it. He also thought that maybe the movie could be improved and a bit funnier with some more improvising. Chevy Chase was a great addition to the cast, the studio thought. However, the crew of the film felt very differently about that. It seems Chevy was a royal pain in the ass to work with, and the crew just hated dealing with his verbal abuse on a daily basis. In fact, one crew member actually offered to drop a brick on Chevy Chase's head because of the way he kept treating Dan Aykroyd. The crew of the film, however, loved working with Dan Aykroyd, mostly because no matter what they thought up, no matter what harebrained idea, what weird character design or set design they came up with, Dan Aykroyd was on board all the way. He loved their creativity. In fact, he would push them to go weirder and stranger every single time. The crew loved being on this movie so much, the crew had their own special secret screening of this film without Dan Aykroyd so that they could have a good time watching all their just absolutely insane ideas on the big screen. I mean, this movie packed in tons of weirdness. We have adult-sized babies, we have this deranged, weird-looking old judge, a roller coaster that runs through the house and on the property that delivers criminals to their death by a machine called the Bone Ripper. Needless to say, the film was supposed to be a lot gorier and a lot more violent than it ended up being. The studio decided to tone it down a little bit because it didn't test well with audiences. In my opinion, this movie would have been a lot better if they would have left in the gore and the violence. Not because I just love seeing gore and violence, but because in the right cartoony manner, that can work really well, and it's something this movie definitely needed. So what do I like about this movie? Well, first off, I believe this film is way before its time. This type of humor really wasn't popular during this time period, and I feel later on down the road this film would have done very, very well. In fact, I truly believe this is a movie that could use with another coat of paint. This is a film that could use a remake. In the right hands, this film could be great. I mean, honestly, hand this movie over to somebody like Eli Roth and we'll have an amazing horror comedy. The set design in this film is amazing. All of the work and detail that the team put in really shows. You can tell that they had so much fun working on this movie. Everything is crazy. Rumor even has it that for just one scene, they went around and bought every toaster in Los Angeles just so they could have a joke about why there are so many toasters. The film was budgeted at $40 million. However, that number might be higher because he did go back and try to get more money. So I think it might have ended up costing around $45 million to make, and it only pulled in about $8.5 million at the box office. The film just didn't work for people at the time. However, today I think this movie would be awesome. One of the other things I love about this film is the appearance of hip-hop group Digital Underground. And this is also back when Tupac was with Digital Underground, and this is marking his first appearance in a film. So if there's one thing this movie is famous for it is the first time that Tupac is on film. So all in all, guys, I feel this movie is it's a unique taste. This is not something that's really gonna appeal to everybody out there. This film is not gonna have a mass audience, but it definitely deserves a cult following a lot bigger than it's getting. So that's why I say check this film out. It's definitely worth your time, and if anything, it's just worth your time to see something, just this weird little thing that happened because a studio said, okay, Dan Aykroyd, here's $40 million. Okay, if I've piqued your interest and you're thinking about checking this movie out, well, you can find it right now on Prime for rental. It's also out there on DVD. However, I believe it's out of print. I don't think you're gonna find it on any Blu-rays or anything like that, unless there's a special edition Blu-ray that I'm just not aware of. As of right now, you can find it for rent on Prime, or if you can find the DVD out there, even though it's out of print, I don't believe it's a pricey one. Okay guys, thanks again for checking out The Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell for notifications so you know when I put another one of these up. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.